What's up, guys? Auto Fanatics. So today's video, a new detailing video, testing out the brand new, very hyped up ceramic coating by CERAKOTE. So this is a video that I haven't seen anybody do it yet. A lot of people have been applying it to their paint and the results have been kind of hit or miss. I'm actually going to try it as a wheel coating on my Alfa Romeo. So before we start the video, just want to show you how dirty the rear wheels get on this car. You can kind of see it right there. So the rear wheels in this car get a hell of a lot dirtier than the fronts. So I'm going to do a full wash. It's been raining for several days. You can see it there, all the rocks and all the junk in there. But here's the front wheel. You can see it's not as dirty as the rear wheel. So this is what we're going to do in this video. I'm going to do the CERAKOTE ceramic coating on the driver's side of the Alfa Romeo, and on the passenger side, I'm going to apply the Auto Fanatic Hypergloss ceramic waterless wash, which is a 15% SiO2 spray sealant. But we're gonna do something a little different. I'm gonna pull the wheels off the car. I'm gonna show you step by step a full preparation and decon. Now, I go a little bit OCD when it comes to preparing any surface for a coating because I really wanna have the best possible finish possible. So we're gonna pull the wheels off the car, get everything cleaned up. We're gonna condense the video in the garage over on my workbench. I'm gonna show you start to finish on how I'm gonna prepare these wheels. We're gonna use the clay matrix mitt. We're gonna clean it with the Auto Fanatic wheel cleaning foam. We're gonna polish out the barrels because the barrels are super important, and coatings on wheels are kind of hit or miss. I'll talk some more about it as we apply this, but let's get the video started now. All right, guys, so we're inside my garage right now. So we have one of the rear wheels on my wheel stand here. This is from Source Garage. You guys have seen this on the channel for a couple of years. So we're gonna do the ceramic coating in here. We're at 71 degrees Fahrenheit. Regarding CERAKOTE, if you guys watch the channel, you know I did a video on this. This is one of their best products for automotive detailing, the CERAKOTE ceramic trim coat. Love this product. I feel that any professional shop or DIY guy should have this in their detailing cabinet. Now, if you go on Amazon, this is their ceramic spray sealant. I don't know what the hype is all about this. There's like 25,000 positive reviews. I've been testing it for months. I just don't think it's great. I don't think it does anything that's really spectacular. Number one, you get a smaller bottle. These triggers are not that great. They leak all over your hand. And the number one thing about user experience regarding this product, it smells like white vinegar. So that's another reason why I just don't like it. I don't like using products that give off foul smells or smells that are just not appealing to use on a regular basis. So we'll show you guys here. Now, Pan the Organizer, he's got a real big detailing channel. He did a very elaborate infomercial on the CERAKOTE ceramic coating right here. He went to the factory, showed you all about that. So now, a lot of channels have been using it on paint. The results have been 50-50. Some people say they're great, some people say they're not great. Also, I will tell you now from experience of doing this for so many years, I feel that the professional ceramic grade coatings, if they're applied and prepped properly and cured with infrared lights, they offer a substantial performance. I think the problem is with a lot of ceramic coatings, a lot of shops and a lot of DIYers are not doing it in a controlled environment, and they're not taking the time to do the proper prep. An IPA wipe, like the Gion Prep, is not strong enough to really strip down all the oils and surface contaminants. So I'm gonna show you guys right here. This video might be a little long, but I wanna show anybody out there, maybe you get some tips and tricks on how I prepare a wheel, and I do the same process regarding preparing the surface. Now, if you guys watched my video a couple of years ago on this, I went through extensive preparation on the plastic, and this restored the plastic trim on our Alfa Romeo Stelvio for 3+ years with no degradation, and that car sat outside in all seasons. So prep is the number one key no matter what you do when you're working on cars, auto body detailing, you gotta take the time to prep it. So we just washed the wheels on the car. The other wheels are already coated. They're back on the car. So before I do anything, I like to go through the wheel and kind of feel it to see, because there's going to be some tar deposits that are going to be on the wheel. So what I have here, I have some Green Star by Kochi. This is like an all-purpose cleaner. And I'm going to spray some on the wheel just to go over it in case I missed any spots. And you can kind of see it there, a couple little corners. I'm actually getting it from behind the spokes. So we want to go and over prep the wheel. We want to go and get this surface as clean as possible. Okay, because if you don't get the surface clean as possible and there's any oils on there, you're not going to get the product that you're applying to bond. Now, what we have here is a Griot's Garage clay matrix towel. Now, this is another little step that I use. If these wheels were older, I would go in there with the Meguiar's Professional Clay, but this is only a couple of months old, this car, so there's not a lot of crap on them. So that's why I'm going to use this with some of the all-purpose cleaner. Okay, that's going to act as my lubricant. And then I'm just going to go over the spokes. And this is going to make sure that if there's any little tiny dots of tar or contamination that didn't come off during the wash, because I don't use iron activators. If you guys watch my channel, you know I don't use any of that stuff that smells disgusting and it's going to stink up my garage. And I just don't like the after effects of what that does to the brake system and all the finishes inside the suspension. So we're going over here, we're doing this. Okay, now we're pretty good. Now this is not scratching the surface at all because the surface, believe it or not, is really, really clean. This is just getting any of the, and which is good about these towels versus like a clay mitt. You could take your finger and kind of go into these recesses, especially on wheel spokes. So I think these towels are great. There's a bunch of vendors that make them. This one is from Griot's Garage, and I use these regularly when I'm doing any kind of preparation. Now we're going to flip the wheel around. Well, before we do that, let's just wipe it quick. We got to do the barrel. Now the barrel is the most important part of coating a wheel. Now if you guys watch the channel, I did a lot of coatings on the Guion wheel coating, G-Tech Nick, Kamikaze. I pretty much used all of them and you kind of have mixed results. And I'm going to tell you now, the number one reason why coatings don't really work well on wheels is number one, the wheel finish is poor, whether it's OEM or aftermarket, or you guys didn't take the time to do the proper preparation. So this wheel's a little heavy. Okay, let's just flip it around. Okay, we're going to spray. You can see here, so I never, you know, when I'm cleaning the wheels on the car, you're never going to get back here. So usually when you do a wheels off detail, I could feel there's some stuff right here. There's some tar in that finish, and we're going to get that off. Okay, but if you look carefully, let me try to get closer with the camera. All right, this finish has a lot of ridges in it. You could kind of, let me see if you can see that. It almost looks like orange peel. It's tough to say because a lot of these wheels today, they're cast and they spray them and they don't usually have a good finish inside the barrel. Also, a lot of rotary forged wheels, they have rollers that stretch the metal, and when you see the inside of the barrel, they'll have lines. When they have lines, the finish, when they apply the coating, you know, the actual cosmetic coating, it doesn't come out that well, and that also is going to affect how good a ceramic coating or wax or anything is going to bond to your surface. Okay. So this is a great wheel stand. Now, Source Garage, they've revised this I don't know how many times, but to be honest with you, I just like this one. This works great. I haven't had any issues whatsoever. And I usually use a smaller stand when I'm doing this, but this wheel is particularly heavy and I wanted the back rail support. Okay, I'm gonna go over it again. So you can kind of see, this was a perfectly white towel. I like to use white towels a lot, including my polishing pads, just because I could see exactly what's coming off. If you use a black towel or a gray towel, a lot of times you may accidentally mix that towel up and go and touch your car's paint and scratch it. So you can see here, this thing is perfectly cleaned. It feels as smooth as OEM. Now we're not done there yet. Got one more step. Okay. Now, you guys have seen this on the channel too, so we're gonna take this towel, we're gonna chuck that to the side. This is Auto Body Wax and Grease Remover. Also, I call it Prepsol. Now, like I said, the IPA wipe is just not strong enough to get a lot of the stuff off these wheels and tires, especially tar or anything like that. So we're just gonna pour it on the microfiber towel like that, and we're gonna go and clean the surface carefully. Now, let's see when I take this towel away, if there's anything on this surface that the solvent has taken off that the clay matrix mitt and the all-purpose cleaner didn't get off. And you can see right there. Okay, look at it in the camera. Okay, this is why I tell people this is not strong enough. Even if you use if you wanted to use an IPA, I wouldn't even use an IPA. If you really want to use alcohol, pick up a 90% alcohol straight and use that straight. But I still recommend the Auto Body Wax and Grease Remover. It's just going to give you a far superior result. It does stink a little bit, and it is pricey. It's like 60 bucks a gallon in today's market, but this is what we're going to do. Now we're also going to do this on the face of the wheel, but you can just see it there. That's everything that came off with the Prepsol. Okay, so now we know that this barrel is as surgically clean as we're going to get it. Okay, now we're going to flip the wheel around and we're going to do it again on the face. Now I'm just using the Prepsol on the face of the wheel. You can just look at that. Look what just came off right inside here. So that means that from driving around all the construction and broken up roads in New York, a lot of that stuff is bonding to the wheels, especially when you drive in the rain and you drive through puddles where you pick up a lot of that crap. And this is going to ensure, like I said, a lot of guys that are doing videos on this new CERAKOTE ceramic coating, I know for a fact that they're not doing their preparation like this. They're doing like maybe a decon wash, maybe they'll do a clay, maybe they'll do an iron activator, but they're not going with the wax and grease remover in between their steps to make sure that that surface is as surgically clean as possible. And I think this is probably the most important step of the prep. Now, before we do the coating, we're also going to be doing an IPA wipe. So if you guys want to use the IPA, I use it as a secondary. So first order of business, we clean the wheels with the Auto Fanatic Professional Wheel Cleaning Foam outside. Then we use some Kochi Chem Green Star All-Purpose Cleaner to wipe the wheel down. And then we also went over it with a Griot's Garage Fine Clay Matrix Towel. And then we went over it with the Auto Body. I'm using Sherwin-Williams Wax and Grease Remover. We call it Prepsol. I'm going to spray some more here. And now the next step on the barrel, there's going to be one more step of prep, actually two more. I'm going to polish the barrel with a Meguiar's microfiber, white microfiber cutting pad and some mild polish. And then we're going to IPA wipe it again, and then we're going to go and apply our CERAKOTE ceramic coating. And like I said, I feel that going through all this extra step, because I already did the front wheel on the driver's side. It took me a little bit of a while, but that's done. The passenger side of the car, I already did the same thing, and we just applied the Auto Fanatic Hypergloss Ceramic Waterless Wash. This is a 15% SiO2 spray sealant, so it's a polymer-based product that works absolutely incredible, and it gives you super long protection. So that's pretty much all I've been using on my car for upkeep. I haven't been using any waxes. I don't do ceramic coatings because I like to test a lot of products out. So I only use the 007 Gloss ceramic detailer, as a drying aid, and then the Hypergloss to add protection and gloss. Okay, so we're good there. So let's flip this wheel around, and we're going to start polishing it with the Mirka 3-inch DA. All right, guys, so we got the fancy schmancy Mirka 3-inch DA. This is the Meguiar's microfiber cutting pad. Now, like I mentioned, the reason I like to use the white pads whenever I do wheels or anything below the belt line of the car is because I want to see this get dirty and mucked up so I could wash it or toss it away. If you're using a black microfiber pad, there's a good chance that you may not get that perfectly clean, and it's going to damage the paint eventually. So we're just using some Epic Polish by Malco. This is a professional grade finish, and we're just going to go and polish this up a little bit, see how we do. Now, if there's anything embedded in the surface, this might catch it, but I think we did such a thorough job cleaning it that this is only going to just restore the finish. We want to get the highest gloss possible so the coating will have the best slip angle as it cures. Got some scratches in the wheel here. Nothing you could do about that. But yeah, the finish on these wheels is not that great in the barrel. So I'm not that optimistic as far as how well the barrels are going to stay clean. I think the spokes are going to stay nice if this product lives up to its hype. Okay. Now, if you look carefully, let's see if the camera can get there. You can kind of see very faintly there's some contamination on this pad. That's exactly what I wanted to show you guys, because if you don't see it, you're never going to know if you're properly cleaned. So we're going to go here. We're going to IPA wipe this again. And now we're pretty much ready to do the coating. I think we're good. I don't think I could prep this wheel any more than what I already did. Number one thing that people complain about is the fumes, also that rainbow effect that you get, high and low spots, and also the tackiness that actually destroys all your towels. This one's not like that. To be honest with you, I think this is just basically a polymer matrix type of resin that's going on there and bonding, similar to like a high SiO2 spray sealant. So I'm going to take a smell to see what it smells like. It's, you know what's funny? It smells a combination of like balsa wood and a very, very faint Minwax wood stain, if anybody's familiar with that. So they're recommending to shake it up. We'll shake it up. Now they give you this microfiber applicator. I don't know if I'm going to use that. I like to use the Meguiar's wax pads as applicators, especially when I'm doing wheels, just because I have greater ability to contour it. This is a little bulky, and I think this is going to absorb a lot of the product. So that's the one deviation I'm going to make. Whether it's going to make a difference, I don't really think so. Just the same way you do any ceramic coating, we're going to load up the applicator. And it goes on relatively easy. Now also, this is a one-coat system. They're not recommending stacking it. This, you can see here, the finish is so poor on the outside of the rims. But we're going to hit it anyway. Why not, while we got it on the stand. Okay, so we're going to need a little bit more. Now, they want you to let this flash for 5 minutes. Now, something that's different from a conventional ceramic coating, you're not going to get the rainbow effect, which is kind of like how you gauge, depending on your ambient temperature, when you have to remove your coating. So we're just going to time it. I have my timer set right behind me. And then we're just going to make sure we apply it. Okay, so the barrel's coated. Now I'm just going to get behind the spokes. But like I said, the finish back here is machined, and it's not that great as far as the coverage of the paint. So I'm not expecting much, but I'm just doing this because I got the wheels off right now, and it might make cleaning them next time I pull them off a little bit easier. Okay, so that's pretty much it. So application is pretty easy. So I'm going to let the timer run out probably about another 3.8 minutes, and we're going to come back and do a removal. All right, guys, we're back. So the 5 minutes has elapsed inside the barrel. So the one thing I'll tell you, if you put your finger on it, it feels exactly like you sprayed silicone spray, like any kind of automotive general use silicone spray. Kind of hear that there? But we're going through the barrel. I got my scan grip light on my head. I got the scan grip light in my hand, and I have another scan grip light behind me, backlighting the camera to make sure I got all surfaces covered. Everything looks good. So just using a really nice, I don't know what the GS, this might be a 400 GSM, but I love these microfiber towels. I get these on Amazon in bulk, and they work absolutely outstanding. So taking the coating off, we'll call leveling it out, it feels slick. It feels like you sprayed silicone oil onto the barrel of the wheel. See if you could hear that. What you're hearing is the friction between the surface and the surface of the towel. That's because this barrel is not perfectly machined smooth, and it's not like glass. So make sure we get the outer edge, even though it's barely coated with paint. So we're just going to go and make sure. The one thing is, everybody's raving about this new technology, is that you don't have to worry about getting high spots because it's so easy to level it out and do the final buff. Another thing too, I don't think you need to use a secondary buff towel. From using it so far already, So we're just gonna kind of go in here. Yeah, it feels super slick, but I mean, if you have a good wax or a good SiO2 spray topper, like a good spray sealant, you know, like Car Per Reload is good, our Autofanatic Hypergloss is good. You know, there's a bunch of stuff on the market that's actually really, really good, and it gives you good performance. So I'm going to say, as far as what I'm feeling in terms of the friction, it's pretty much equivalent to, you know, all the other stuff that I've used. I don't feel anything unique or different. The one thing too, I'm in a closed garage. We have the heat on about 71 degrees. The fumes that are coming off this are really not bad. So that's another thing when using a solvent base, like a conventional ceramic base coating. If you don't do it with adequate ventilation, it will start burning your eyes and causing some respiratory issues for some people. And I know when we did a couple of coats of the Guion wheel coating on Jerry's car a couple of years ago. We had the heater on, blowing for hours, and both of us had a really hard time sleeping that night with our eyes burning and our throats were scratchy. And so that's another thing too, is user experience. I think the user experience is really easy. This is good for a DIYer if you don't have a perfectly controlled environment. I mean, like I said, we're going to keep it in the garage. I'm going to pull the car in after I bolt this wheel back on the car, and then we're going to leave it with the heat on till tomorrow. I'm going to drive the car for a few days, and then towards the end of the week, today's Monday, possibly Friday or Saturday, I'll conclude the video and I'll post it up on YouTube to see, did anything, you know, the coating on the driver's side keep the wheels cleaner? Did it do anything? And we're going to check the water behavior with the pressure washer as well. All right, we're going to flip this wheel around, and now we're going to coat the front. Yeah, this wheel's freaking heavy. Okay. Good stuff. And like I said, I think the Meguiar's microfiber wax pads are great for coating applications. I've been using these for years, so no issues whatsoever. Now, I don't think if you get this on a tire, it's going to cause a permanent issue, but we'll see. Now, inside the spokes, where the sockets of the lugs go, I'm going to put a lot in there because this is really gets caked up from the brake dust on this car. Because this has, you know, Brembo brakes, and for some weird reason, I get more brake dust on the back wheels than I do on the front. And you would think it would be the opposite, but it's the way the intelligent braking system, it's brake-by-wire, it's programmed. And I know a lot of front-wheel drive cars have that issue, and you know, every car is going to be different. Okay. So, I mean, you could buy these kits for like 60 bucks on Amazon. That's another good thing. I mean, most of this stuff is pretty accessible, you know, to the professional or DIYer. Now, I don't know if this is going to be considered a professional grade coating. To be honest with you, I don't think that's where they're really trying to tap into the marketplace. You know, considering where their other products are in terms of retail, I think this is probably just going to be a complementary product for that. Now, I don't know if this is going to be a game changer. I know Pan, the organizer, was talking all about the chemistry and the new technology as being a game changer, but I don't know. I really don't know. I just think, you know, the current ceramic coatings on the market are excellent if you do the prep and if you use the infrared heat lamps to, you know, force cure it and make sure it's cured. Because if you do it air cure and you don't have the proper day or controlled environment, I have noticed even myself, the results have been 50-50. Okay, so we're coated. We're going to come back in another 5 minutes and remove it. All right, guys, 5 minutes has elapsed. Let me just go and check. Make sure we got good coverage. Everything's covered good. I made sure we spent extra time and put more product inside the lug pockets. So the one thing that I'm going to tell you so far from, you know, this is the second wheel that I've coated so far with it. As far as the user experience, I'll give it a 10 because it's super easy. Everybody likes things that are easy, especially for people that don't like to read instructions or follow preparation steps. But I still don't know where this product is going to lie. I still think it's going to be more in the DIY retail segment. I don't see this being used by the very high-end detail shops across the country and around the world. I don't know, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe this is going to open up an opportunity for mobile detailers to offer their clients ceramic coatings at a much more affordable price, because the application is far easier, and it's much more forgiving. That they only tell you got to wait 2 hours for it to cure, as far as like not letting it touch the outside elements. So 2 hours is nothing versus a conventional ceramic coating. They really want you to wait, several days if you don't have the infrared curing lamps. But the finish feels good. Like I said, it feels like I sprayed my Autofanatic Hypergloss on here. It doesn't feel any different. It doesn't feel any slicker. Another thing too, I'm still using the same towel. So I did, the driver's side front wheel and the driver's side rear wheel with the same towel. And I don't know if this will pose an issue. With a conventional ceramic coating, if you get something in these pockets that you don't remove, you'll get what they call a high spot. It'll also be very sticky. Then you have to reintroduce more of the ceramic coating to kind of level it out. But if you don't catch it, what happens with this product if you miss a spot? I don't know. I think it's pretty forgiving considering how easy it is to get it off. I don't think it'll do anything. I think also I feel like this product has a very silicone, oily effect as you leave it on the surface. So I don't know how it bonds with the microscopic pores of the actual finish. I don't know. I don't know the technology that they're using or what they're using. But CERAKOTE, like I said, CERAKOTE is basically a trade name. They're part of NIC Industries, and we use them for our customization and restoration business because that's primarily what I do on cars. So I use the high temp coatings for exhaust components and specialty fasteners and stuff like that. And then they're also part of Prismatic powder coating. So we use their powders on doing powder coatings on all the custom jobs that we do. So they're a really great company. We like working with them. Never had any issues. And like I said, they started branching out into this DIY auto detailing segment with their headlight restoration kit and their trim coat. Both outstanding products that really, really work. So let's see how this stuff does the end of the week. And I'll come back and we'll conclude the rest of the video. We'll do some water behavior test on the driver's side, which was coated with the CERAKOTE ceramic coating, and the passenger side we coated with Autofanatic Hypergloss ceramic. So is there going to be a difference? I don't know. But let's get this cured for a couple hours, put it back on the car. We're going to leave the car in the garage with the heater on because it's raining today. And we're going to come back most likely Friday or Saturday, and we'll conclude the rest of the video. All right, guys, we're back. It's Saturday morning. Now, if you guys watched the full video, I applied the CERAKOTE ceramic coating on Monday to the driver's side, and I applied the Autofanatic Hypergloss ceramic spray sealant to the passenger side. Now, we've been getting rain nonstop. You can see there's a lot of junk in there. So on Wednesday, I did clean the wheels with the Autofanatic wheel cleaning foam. I just wanted to get the car clean. It was just loaded with sand and junk because we've been getting rain nonstop. But from Wednesday to Saturday of driving the car daily, you could see it's actually done a very good job of keeping the wheels cleaner. Now, of course, there's going to be brake dust on there, and the gunmetal gray is going to do a pretty good job of concealing it. So what I'm going to do, let's go to the other side of the car and see how well that looks. So this is with the Autofanatic Hypergloss ceramic. You could kind of see it almost looks identical. This side of the car is a little bit dirty versus the other side. I think I hit more puddles on the right side of the car in the last 2 days. But you can see the bottom of the car is getting trashed. You can see it right there. It's dirty. It's been driven in the rain. There's all the kicked up mud and sand and everything else. So what I'm going to do for the rest of the video, I'm going to set the camera up on the tripod. We're going to check the water behavior. We're going to see if water alone is going to clean these wheels. We're going to get the Ego blower and blow dry it. We're going to compare the water behavior from the driver's side to the passenger side of the car, and then I'll give you guys my final thoughts on the CERAKOTE ceramic coating. All right, guys, test wheel number 1. This was coated with the CERAKOTE ceramic coating on Monday. Wow, I actually want to get closer, guys, because the water behavior is absolutely awesome. You can see the brakes are still a little warm. Check out the water behavior. Specifically in the barrel, okay? Look at the way that water just dances right off inside the barrel. I'll do it again. So that's really damn effective for a wheel coating. Let's go over to the driver's side front. Same situation. She beads up really, really well. So go back to the back. You know what's funny? Something that I noticed. Look at the beads on the rear barrel. Okay. Look at the beads on the front barrel. They're slightly different. I don't know. That just could just be, you know, application or whatever. But let me grab the Ego blower. We want to see how well the wheel's going to stay clean. All right, so for the most part, the wheel looks clean. We got some staining here. You can see that right there. Okay, that's where a wheel cleaner and a brush would have probably did a little bit better job. Believe it or not, just for a couple of days of driving, I would have expected a little bit of a better result in the barrel. But the barrels, like I said, when I did the video, you guys watched it, the finish is not that great. So the coating is gonna have an issue with that. As far as the spokes, that finger's already dirty from before, but let's just do it again. Yeah, the spokes stay clean. So just with the pressure washer, it's maintained a very clean look. Inside the barrel is going to need some touch-ups. Let's go to the front wheel. Let's blow dry this one. All right, I could almost see the same thing. So it looks like the coating performs better on the spokes than the barrel, and I kind of was expecting that because of the texture of these particular wheels in particular. So you can kind of see here, the spokes are nice and clean. There's no brake dust. Inside the lug pockets, this is usually an area where it traps a lot of dirt. It's nice and clean, there's no issue. So we do have some residue left inside the wheel barrel, so it did not keep the wheels 100% clean, but it definitely kept them a hell of a lot cleaner than not having a coating at all. So let's go to the other side of the car and do a comparison between the results of the CERAKOTE and the results of the AutoFanatic Hypergloss Ceramics Spray Sealant. And I have a feeling they're going to be pretty identical. So let's get to the other side of the car. We'll flip the car around right now. All right, guys, just flip the car around. We're going to be doing the same test to check the water behavior. Let's see how this does on its own. Okay, very, very similar water behavior. The beads look, I would say, almost identical. Maybe they're a little bit smaller on the spokes, but that's going to be the difference between polymers. Every polymer is going to react differently in terms of a hydrophobic nature. And like I said, you see the extensive preparation that I did on these wheels before I did it. Okay, so we got great water behavior. Now let's get the Ego blower. We're going to see if the barrel is, the actual barrel is any cleaner. All right, guys, I have to report. Let's get the camera closer. So, spokes, nice and clean. The barrel is significantly cleaner than the other side. You can kind of see it there. Okay, whereas we didn't use any wheel cleaner. It has a very, very little bit of brake dust left over, but it actually has less brake dust inside the barrel than the CERAKOTE ceramic coating. But other than that, you can see it. These wheels are pretty clean for driving in the rain. Let's switch over to the front wheel. Do the same test. And believe it or not, this particular car gets more brake dust on the rear. Don't ask me why, but that's just how it is. So we're gonna knock all the sand and dirt out of the barrel. I think we have outstanding water behavior. Let's take the pressure washer nozzle off. Let's just flood it with some water. See how this does. Okay. Just doing this for the video just so you can kind of see. This is what's reacting on the surface using the Hypergloss 15% SiO2 spray sealant. Let's get the Ego blower. All right, let's get closer in. So, same situation. Wow, feels super slick. The paint finish. So inside here is good. Inside the barrel also is cleaner. So that's the testing results that I did on my particular car with these both products. They did a phenomenal job of keeping the wheels cleaner and driving in the rain. Now, FYI, there's not going to be any coating. I don't care by CERAKOTE or by anybody else that you're going to put it on the car and drive it through several days of rain and it's going to take all the brake dust off without wheel cleaner. Not happening. I just don't think it's happening unless you have carbon ceramic brakes. Pretty much that's my conclusion of the testing I've done with the CERAKOTE professional ceramic coating on the wheels of my Alfa Romeo. So from going back to back, we have the Hypergloss Autofanatic spray sealant on the passenger side and on the driver's side. Like I showed you guys, we did the CERAKOTE like I showed you in the preparation of the video. Both of them have performed exceptionally well driving through the rain and keeping the car cleaner longer. The only thing that I noticed so far from the testing you guys can see in the video is with the CERAKOTE, we had some more residue inside the barrel of brake dust, and I actually spent a hell of a lot of time prepping them. So I was expecting that to be a little bit better, but on this side, with the Hypergloss ceramic, the barrels stayed significantly cleaner than the other side. Not saying that, you know, one product is better than the other, they're two totally different products. But the question is going to remain is how well are these products going to last as far as for a wheel coating? Are they going to last a couple of weeks, a couple of months? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to post in the comments, I'm going to pin a comment, and every week I'm going to try to come back and update you guys to let you know, is the coating still lasting? Is it failing? And how long did I get out of it? Because the product is so new. It's only been out for 2 months. Most people are putting it on their paint and glass. Glass I just wouldn't even use this. I would use a dedicated glass sealant or coating for glass. But I wanted to try it on wheels because wheels are a good test to see durability because they're constantly getting hit with wheel cleaner, they're getting hit with tar and everything else that's low on the bottom of the car as you're driving. And if anything's gonna wear out the coating the quickest, it's definitely gonna be on the wheels. So hope you guys liked this video. Hope you guys got some tips and tricks on preparation. Preparation is the #1 key. I spent about 4.5 hours doing all 4 wheels, but you gotta see the results. The results speak for themselves. I didn't use any wheel cleaner. We just pressure washed this, and in several days of driving in the rain and dirt, the wheels are pretty much 95% perfectly clean without scrubbing or without doing anything, thanks to the protection of the CERAKOTE and also the Autofanatic Hypergloss waterless wash, which is a 15% SiO2 spray sealant. So thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more content. And like I said, post your comments below. Let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you guys in the next one soon.